feel free to break it up and ask us a random ass question if you like. Does like just have a conversation.
Okay.
Only difference is we're recording it and they're gonna use it in the court of law. Be careful. Hello. Welcome back, everybody. All you good people. Welcome back to another lab session. I'm Chris. That's Bing with the Labkids, and I have to say, off the bat, you can probably tell on my voice, I'm a little bit nervous, but we've got a special guest today. Ladies and gentlemen, our good friend, new friend to the show, long-time friend of mine, new friend to Bing, but we're going to make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is John Paul Faamausili.
Welcome, sir.
What's up? If I could just switch it up. Just in your travels of your career, in rugby obviously, who's like some athletes or maybe some coaches that you didn't know before working with them or in the same circles that really like stood out to you or really impressed you?
That are coaching now?
Yep. Or coaching now or playing now?
Yes, yeah. I used to help out with the New Zealand 20s. So I used to go down there and when they had camps. And I used to work alongside Jace Ryan. He, to me, was just another community coach down there. And then to see him now where he is, I was like, man, that's wicked. You know, just applying his trade at the different levels, you know, all the way up. So he did it at club, you know, he just did club as a volunteer, you know, he just went around club and he was just basically helping out. And then obviously connecting through club, he ran into Mike Cron, so he became Mike Cron's kind of apprentice.
Yo.
Yeah, you know, and then he kind of worked his way into rep teams. And then Canterbury were looking for a forward scrum coach, and obviously Mike Cron knew him and then kind of recommended him, and then the rest is history, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, having kind of work alongside him in the 20 space, really good facilitator, very good facilitator. So he's one of those guys where he's like you said, like doesn't want to be the guy who knows everything. Happy to ask questions, but I don't know it. But what do you think? You know, and involves players in the decision making process. So he was good to work with, picking his brain and seeing how he runs sessions. I was lucky to work with Mike Cron as well, and man, he's a coach. That guy can coach. Yeah, he's really good. Man, he's a master coach. That guy. I had him. He rings me up one time when I was at the Union. It was 2019, and he goes, JP. He goes, yep. School rugby in Auckland's not that great. He said, oh, okay. He said, no one can scrum up there. And I was going, you're not wrong there. And I said, we've got big issues around scrummaging in Auckland. He's not enough scrum coaches. Okay, cool. And he goes, okay, I'm coming up. And I go, oh, yeah. And he goes, I'll pay my own way, put some teams together. I'm going to come up and help him out. I go, okay, cool. And then I rounded up schools, just front rowers. And we had about 130 front rowers turning up. And then he rocks in. And like any coach with that kind of number in front of them would be going, how the heck am I going to be coaching front row with 130 front rowers? And then Mike Cron steps in. He calls Ofa and Nipo Laulala to come in to help out. And all they did was just demo the things he was saying. He just demo. And the entire session was just seamless. Like he just, without, you know, just the way he just organises everything. And without even raising his voice, he's just got a really good way of structuring the session so that everyone's working within a small group. He gets everyone to feed back to each other, and just the way he facilitates it, you know, how he questions and challenges athletes. It was awesome. Man, it was awesome. And we spent about 2 hours at Ponsonby Rugby Club just doing scrums. And in the crowd, we invited coaches as well.
Yeah.
And coaches were all in there kind of coming in, had all books and notes and writing down stuff. And in the crowd was, we all came in for Q&A, and kids would raise their hand up and then ask a question, and Mark Cronwell will answer it, and then a book went up, a 1B5 book went up in the air. Well, you couldn't see it because it was so busy. Like, there was a lot of boys, and they're all big, and his hand goes up. You couldn't see the guy, and he asks this question, and you recognise his voice straight away. It was Graham Henry. It was Graham Henry, and it's powerful. He's a guy who's won a World Cup about 3, it might have been 8 years ago, and not coaching anybody, but still room to learn.
Yeah.
And that was massive. It was huge, and all the coaches were just taken back. He's one of the most successful coaches in the country, in New Zealand.
And he asked a legitimate question.
He just asked a legitimate. He asked a question, and it was awesome. And that showed a lot of things. One, you got never old to learn, and he's obviously shown that I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I still want to learn.
With all that vast experience, he
still wanted to pick something out.
Wow.
And so it was quite cool. That's a cool moment. And I share that with teachers at school, reflecting back as teachers. Don't be the guy where you feel like this is it. Every day is a day of learning, no matter how much you've done or where you've come from. That was a cool moment.
How did he find out about the workshop, the session? Did you just send out a mass email and somehow ended up in his...
I think Connie would have got hold of some of the guys there. It turns out that Graham Henry ended up coming back and helping out the NPC team. So I got to work with him there as well, and he's cool. Yeah. Whatever he says, everyone just stops and listens. So he's got so much respect. He's cool.
How long ago was this Scrum workshop?
2019.
2019. So we should start to see the fruits of that shortly.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. So that was awesome experience with some of those boys to see.
And Mike Cron just done it off his own back.
Yeah. He just been watching. He'd been watching footage. The games were televised live that time, the school games, and he just said how terrible the Auckland teams were in the scrummaging. And he rings me up and he goes, "I need to come up and do some scrum coaching." I'm like, "Sweet as."
Bro, that's solid. Like, that's a dude about the game.
Yeah.
Not about himself, not about one player. Like,
I was about to prep my wife. Jackie was like, "I think Conor might sleep over. He's got no house. He's got nowhere to stay." And he said, "Don't worry about accommodation. I got it sorted." I was like, "Alright, sweet as."
Would have been Ruben.
I was gonna give you the tiny ass bedroom upstairs.
But even you to not be defensive and say, no, we're alright. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's someone else who would have thought, we don't need an outsider coming to teach us Auckland boys how to scrum, and might have shunned that opportunity. But I think it was good on your part to allow that to happen.
I think what I found, a lot of coaches, they're all like that. They're very they're very open to sharing. And Wayne Smith, the professor, they called him. He said that he doesn't mind sharing everything, because it challenges you to find the next thing and to improve your game.
Nice.
And so he compared it to sitting in the what do you call it, on the top of the mast. There's that person that sits there and overlooks the what's ahead. He said, you got to be that person. Always got to see what's ahead before you get there. And so just thinking ahead, always think ahead. So he was happy to share. That was a lot of stuff you talked about the Chiefs and that time, the championship team. I went to a conference with him. He spoke about a lot of those things. He openly shared everything about what went well and why they did so, why the environment was such a strong environment. He shares everything. He was when I was at counties, he was like my director of high performance, and I had a meeting with him once a month, and he would just tell me everything.
Everything.
Yeah, what his thoughts were. It was quite cool. When all of us would just sit there in the Zoom and we're going, far out. Is anyone recording this? Yeah.
Wow, that's mean. Does he?
And I like that how, if you hold on to those secrets, then you're not working towards the next secret. You're not finding what else is there. But if you're sharing all of this, then you've got to find the next thing that works and the next thing after that. That's very cool.
I don't know if you think like this, but who's your GOAT rugby player? One forward, one back.
One
On the
forward, one
spot.
back.
One forward, one back.
Oh,
Go.
I'm not gonna be boring. I'm just gonna say it's McCaw and Dan Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to say anything else.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
it's hard because those two they're pioneers. If I look at if I look at greatness, it'd be defined in how you shape the game.
100%.
It's not about how long you've been in the seat.
Yep.
It's been about how you shape the game. So both of them have shaped the game into what it is. I think McCaw both on and off the field, like just a lot of things he did off the field in terms of, obviously having a really bad 07 World Cup in that quarter final, and then just a massive transformation of what they did off the field to ensure that in the scenario if that happened again, they were able to deal with it better. And that stuff is not like you don't find a game plan for that. You have to create a process, but the first thing you have to do is acknowledge that happened, and then build a process around it. And a lot of people don't. They'll just say, "Oh, next time we play them, we should beat them," rather than going, "Well, let's look at ourselves and what are we doing? Why did we choke in a moment where we probably should have nailed it?" I think that's huge, and I think that's become a template for a lot of high-performing teams now to take away and work on behind the scenes. So they're hiring skills coaches and mental skills coaches now because of all of that. So just to be able to think about that and address it in that way, and creating a whole new look of how to deal with high-pressure sport. Obviously, on top of the fact that he's just also a rugby player.
Yeah.
So I think those things are, he's a phenomenal player too, eh?
Who was the player you looked up to as a kid? Who's the name that you would call as you're running the ball?
Yeah. Who was your Kobe? Like when you shoot that, like who you calling out?
When I was at school, I liked Josh Kronfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the type of player I was when I was at school. I'm not a flash player, but like I'll tackle as much as I can.
Anything.
Yeah. And then just try and get support, and then hopefully get the ball or link and all that stuff. But I like the work rate and just not flash. I probably wasn't as gifted as your nice your fast backs of the days. Like when I grew up, it was Jonah Lomu, obviously. But it's hard. How you can compare with that? Sheesh. So yeah. It just kind of suited how I approached the game when I saw him play. It sounds a bit corny, but I used to copy his what he does before the game. He used to just shake his hands and shake his head as he ran on. Oh no, when he got on, he used to shake his hands and he shake his head, and I used to do that when I used to play as well, just so I could be like him.
Yeah.
And I wore headgear too, so it's cool. So it's not. He's just a real workhorse. I think he also kind of moulded that Sevens jersey in his own way. Became a very strong link 7, but also just a massive defender. He would have top tackle counts, I think, most of the games he played in. But he was a bit of an unsung hero, old Kronfeld.
Yeah. Was he unfortunate, like, in terms of the era? Was he, like, behind Michael Jones? Was he after?
I think Michael Jones sat out a few years because of injury. So it was really just him. Kronfeld, I think in that time from the 95, 94, 95, 96, 97, that real golden period. And then Michael Jones kind of came in, but he kind of played in at 6 and 8, I think. Because he just obviously not as dynamic as he was as a 7 back in the early 90s. So when they played, Josh Kronfeld was 7, Jones was 6, and Zinzan was 8. So he must be good enough to move the legend Iceman to 6,
hard. So with our extensive research and investigation,
Here we go.
I cannot disclose my sources. Nevertheless, we have some information on you that we just want to touch base with. I've got a few images here that I'm going to show you, and I just want you to give us a backstory or an explanation, or you can plead the fifth. But we'll just start off with this first image. And we just want you to just give us a bit of a background, just to what's going on.
Oh, this photo. This is my ball photo of '97. Man, those suits are something else. Yeah. So, in the time when satin shirts were in and all sorts of colours, mate. If you didn't have a satin shirt, then you were behind the times. And I remember this satin shirt. I actually got this from a store called Montreux in New Lynn, and it cost it was like $99.
Holy.
Yeah, it was expensive as, and I was dead set on just getting the shirt. I was like, nah, I'm getting the shirt, and I was like, so I had to. I see worked with my dad, put a bit of money away. I used to deliver papers every Sunday as well. So man, that was a slog, but eventually got enough money to pay for it, and that was my shirt. And then everything else was borrowed. Everything else was borrowed.
Was there a certain look you're going for then?
No, I was just going for the.
sort
I
of
was just
singing
going for
group
the.
at the time?
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, in purest form when it comes to mind.
That's what we thought when we first
Yo,
saw it.
Hey,
I just heard the
Yeah,
rainbow's end.
fair enough.
Shit.
Fair enough, man. Honestly, look at this photo's crack up. But yeah, '97. Not going for any
Lifetime
particular
ago.
look. Yeah. It was just collars had to be out, definitely,
And big.
and big.
Do you still have that
butterfly
satin shirt?
collars? Nah,
No,
It's
no.
got. I actually don't know where it went, but no, I do actually. I think I might have lent it to one of my boys and never,
It
came,
never
back.
came back.
Yeah, so I learned that
As
way.
you do.
Don't give your nice quality gear away because it won't come back.
The $99 shirt.
Yeah.
Honestly, when we clip this up, there's going to be an image. But what I also like about it is that pose right there. That's gun right there. That's how many times you hold yourself in the mirror like that before the limo came.
Oh man, honestly, I don't know what it was, but the old '90s hip hop days, that seemed to be like the pose for a lot of them. They just in the big dark black leather jackets, they just stand like this, And I just thought that just came to mind straight away when I was standing for photos, like that awkward moment where you don't know where you put your hands.
Either standing or squatting, right?
Oh, the squatting,
With
yeah.
one knee on the ground. And
Yeah.
This is our next image. Now, what we've been told is this used to be a big billboard.
It used
For
to be
all
a
to
big
see.
billboard. So this one. So there was a non-profit organisation who was trying to promote dads staying active and all that, and so they came to the rugby club. Obviously, I was playing. I was playing at the time, and they asked if any players would be keen to take part or whatever, and not many of them were dads. There was one of the very few dads there. So obviously they were looking at me. I'm like, okay.
Here's a dad staying fit.
Yeah,
Hey?
yeah. So then I ended up coming in, and we just had to take a few photos in obviously a rugby kit, but also trying to promote being active, and targeting the Māori Pacifica community.
Yo.
And so we did a few photos, and then this one ended up on on a billboard on I think it was on a Royal Oak roundabout.
oh, wow.
You couldn't miss it. They didn't tell us it was gonna go up.
Yeah.
I just thought it was gonna go on like a Facebook page, and then driving past McDonald's and you see this big billboard. I'm like, holy heck!
Did you cop it for that?
Eh?
Did you get all the messages about that?
I've seen you somewhere. Yeah,
Nice. The last one for the day.
Yeah, this is the guy I said to that who's a physio for the club for the Premiers and asked me to come play one more year.
Oh, wow.
So,
Wow.
so his name was Levan. So he ended up becoming. He's got his own physio clinic in Wellington. He was the Hurricanes physio for a long, long time. He only just left that role last year.
Whoa.
And he's done like 4 World Cups for Tonga. So he's got his own clinic. This is us pretending to be good boys and hide in the school library. So over year 12 this year. So we're both prefects at this year. We're only year 12 kids
What school was that?
at St. Paul's.
St. Paul.
Yeah. So he's the same guy in this photo.
Ah.
He might be the one who's got your shirt.
Yeah, possibly. He tends to borrow a lot of clothes from me.
That's a pretty gangster photo there. In the library.
In the library. Yeah, I know.
It's giving a bit Mexican.
You gotta have one in the library so it looks like you actually went in
Your
there
parents
to
are going to see
listen
it.
yeah.
So we know you've been to the library at least once.
Once, exactly.
So going back, maybe not that far back, but there's also we've also been told you spent some time as a bouncer.
Oh,
Is there any truth to that?
yeah. So in my last year of uni, I worked part time at a bar, a Loaded Hog down at the Viaduct.
Loaded Hog.
And
That was a spot at the time.
that was the spot, man. That queue before that front door just went right across the Viaduct. I used to bartend, and from time to time I work at the door. So when they were short, they say, would you like to work the door? I said, yeah, cool, sweet as. So I did that. It was cool. It was cool time.
Yeah. Did you make any cool drinks as a bartender?
Yeah, made a few drinks.
Someone told us to ask. There was something particular about a shaky drink, and they told us it was a killer.
Yeah.
Is that a secret recipe?
Yeah. So it was a drink that was made by a mate of mine who lives in Perth now, and we were just kind of experimenting with different kind of drinks, and there was a bottle called a chartreuse. I don't know if they sell that anymore. I hardly see it. It's a green liqueur, but it's got 75% alcohol content. So anything near a fire is gonna blow up. And so it was it's a wine glass, and then you fill it up with all your spirits, all your Jack, John, Jimmy's in there, and then you top it with a bit of tequila, and then you right at the top is a chartreuse, shot of chartreuse, and then you light it up. You light it up, and then the cool part is that's why it's called a shaky, is that you put your palm on top of the glass, and the flame in there creates a backdraft, which creates a suction, and so then you automatically feel the glass is stuck to your hand. You don't get burnt. It's stuck to your hand, and then when you raise it, it's absolutely stuck to your hand, and you're going to keep your hand kind of like that. Don't close it, otherwise it creates pockets of air and it opens up. And then from here, then you can then just shake it you can shake it like that. And that's why it's called a shaky. Yeah, so it's called a shaky. So the glass, everyone's just like, wow, how do you do that? And this glass is stuck to this wine glass stuck to your hand. You just like shaking it like this, and you can flip it upside down. It's not going anywhere.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then and to drink it, you can there's two ways. You can either just take your hand out, give it to this skull. Is it allowed to say that?
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, or you just kind of leave a small pocket. You put a straw in there. You drink all of the drink in one go with the straw, and then at the end there's a gas chamber, and then the gas is the part that really knocks you out. So at the end of it, after all the liquid is gone, there's this smoky look in there, and then you inhale it, and then it's you give them about half an hour, and then they're in.
You're only having one of those.
You're on the park bench, and I'm not seeing anyone have two. People go, easy, I can do two. You're not gonna do two, mate. One of them, and they're done. So I've seen stags and hens end real bad
because of that drink.
Yeah,
Couple shakies.
Yeah. It was just something we a few workmates kind of put together.
Have you seen it since?
No one's ever done it. We were the only place to sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we were. It was kind of like not officially on the drinks menu. It was just like if we were working, you'll get it. If we weren't working, then you won't get it. So there's only a few of us that kind of put that together. And management didn't really mind. They just said, just put a price on it, and yeah.
How much would the shaky? How much would the shaky go for?
At the time would be about $18 or something like that. It wasn't cheap. It's still pretty cheap, and a lot of them would buy it first and then maintain. I was going to get you from 0 to 100 real quick. So So I've had hens nights, and where they got the bride to be's out cold on the floor.
Jeez.
But I don't know we can do that anymore. Those are the days when they used to do backdrafts. You ever heard of backdrafts?
No.
Oh,
I don't want to know, but tell me.
so backdrafts is similar, but it's like you get a plate, you even get a saucepan, and you get a shot glass. Then you fill the shot glass with black sambuca, right to the top, and then you put a little bit of the chartreuse at the top. Chartreuse is the bottle, and then you light it up. You pour the chartreuse in, and it overflows. onto the saucepan, and then you light it up, and then it lights up everything. And then once you've done that, then you can make a big show out of it. So you just get some cinnamon and just like throw cinnamon on it, and it just lights up. So it's awesome. People just go, oh. And so when there's like
Party
people,
tricks.
yeah. So when people order backdrafts, everyone just goes, oh, hang on, wait, get back, stand back, and then they put it out, and then the bartender, you can make it as entertaining as you want, and then you just throw heaps of cinnamon into it, and then it just kind of blows up. And then once you've done that, then you just put the fire up. You use the straw, stick it out of the what is it?
The shot glass?
Yeah, the shot glass. Shot glass. And then you flip the shot glass upside down, and you put your straw in through it, and then you suck everything around the saucepan, and then the gas chamber's in there.
Oh,
Jeez.
Yeah. And backdrafts, they used to be like $8, $8. It used to be a real crowd favorite, and then now I don't think you can touch anything with fire anymore.
yeah.
And that's health and safety, obviously, but yeah, like
Any accidents with those?
nah,
For you, no? Professional.
yeah. Oh, nah, I think we're just lucky. Lucky no one put too much gel in their hair and got caught, So
Hairspray.
yeah, your hairspray, exactly. But yeah, no, it was fun times back then, and like, it was pretty crazy. You just make up your own kind of drinks and then just sell it over the bar. And I used to have a few of the boys come over, and we just experiment with whatever drinks, make bubblegum stuff, bubblegum drinks, and then you sell it, make up a price for it, and then 100 people see it. They go, "Can I have one of those?" I'm like, oh. And then you got to do like 20, 30 of them. But bartending was quite cool. So you kind of save a lot of money. You don't go out. You're basically going out, but you are making money at the same time. So it's a cool little job. It's a good little fun time, when you're studying, working behind a bar as a 20-year-old.
You ever been to Loaded Hole? Did it make it to your?
I don't think I've ever been.
I've been outside during the day. I never frequented those kinds of places. I was always praying for church and things like that.
Amen.
All right. I think we're good. We can start wrapping up.
Yo, thank you. Obviously, thank you so much for coming on. Big.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were going to be so rugby heavy.
Sorry, man.
But that was very cool. Thank you for sharing with us the things that you did. And very cool to see the way that you think in terms of rugby and how we can create a better product moving forward. But yeah, once again, thank you very much for sharing your time with us. We appreciate it so much, and I know after you leave, we're gonna have so many questions that we wish we did ask. So we will write them down, and we'll have you back at some point so we can ask some of those questions. And then I might hit you up later on the text about your shaky drink. They sound very.
You can do it at home if you got it.
Oh shit, it sounds dangerous.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of the boys might have had some, but
Probably.
yeah, that's cool.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you on the next one.
See you on the next one. Thank you.
Cool.